Hello, it is episode 15, I think, right? 15? Yeah. Of the daily vlog. I've got I was laying on my porch when I got back from the gym this morning. It's comps from IDW. Not sure which issue it is, so I'll be opening that while I chat. I've been putting up, I think I'm going to start doing $20 Tuesdays again, where I put up a sketch on, several sketches on Twitter on Tuesday, and I'll sell them for $20. Yesterday I put up Destro, and then I did, I had this, I think I did this one, just the inks, but the cover girl from G.I. Joe, and I actually drew this twice, and I try to keep the sketches. I mean, at $20, you're trying to do a sketch people want, but that's not going to take a lot of time. Quality-wise, you want it to be a little more than $20, but not take up a lot of time. I actually drew it once. This was the first sketch, and always hold your. I'm just doing these on copy paper. Copy paper actually absorbs the marker really well, so you can blend pretty well. But if you hold it up to the light, I quickly realized I had the whole. Always look at your stuff backwards, because when you look at it reverse, you really see the facial, especially in the face, the issues with proportion and stuff. So I actually redrew it, which is easy to do on copy paper because you just put it on top and redo it. This one is, I'm going to put this one up on eBay, had no takers. I did sell a Destro, which is, it's way over there, never mind. So anyway, yesterday I was talking about conventions, and someone brought up bringing, walking around looking for artists to draw and like do sketches and things. And one of the challenges as someone's starting out, and I think everybody does this, though I think okay, so when you're walking around, you don't know who some of the artists are, but they have a big banner behind them. You might not know their name, but they have a picture of like Spider-Man, right? The assumption, whether you realize it or not, is they've worked on Spider-Man or Superman, or they work for Marvel because they've got a Wolverine on there or whatever. When you're first starting out, and I did this, I mean, I had a Poison Ivy thing on my banner for a while. I think it was the first banner I ever had. And I quickly kind of got away from that because I started working, I did some work on Doctor Who, so since I worked on it, I put that on there, and then I moved into other stuff. And now I've done with Transformers, I have Optimus Prime on my banner. But one of the things, talking with an old studio mate of mine, he brought up that there's typically, if you have a character on your banner, the assumption is you worked on a character. So if I had to do it over again, I think I would tell myself not to put a character that I haven't worked on. And it's frustrating, I get it, because I've been there, right? Before you break in and before you've got professional credits, you have to make you don't want to lose money every time you go to a show. And you want to show that you can draw commissions, and hey, in what better way than my name and whatever. I think it would be better if you had your own character, or you just drew a type of character so that you can show how you draw. And if you draw a good superhero-ish character, male or female, it shows you can draw that. And if you can draw the basic superhero thing, then you'll probably get commissions. Ideally, you would probably, and this is, as artists, we probably all want to do this, right? We want to have our own property, our own story, our own characters, and put that up, and people go, wow, I want this image. And that's hard to do, because you have to make sure image is compelling and has to pique people's interest. And with William the Last, I have I can't do two things at once. I've got the knife out to open this. I'm not even doing anything. I've got the city. There's a shot with a little William, but the big cityscape. And that's actually a really popular image, and I sell a lot of prints of that and that actually invites people like, what is this? This looks really cool. That's the kind of thing I should have probably been doing and trying to do instead of putting up, a DC character before I had broken into comics. But I understand. it's kind of a ethical, legal gray area. Um, Legal because there's a lot of guys with the wall of prints, and they're usually not professionals. They got their 8 by 11 Kinko's prints or 11 by 17 prints, and they've got every, like, usually headshots too, but every character that you can imagine. The quality may not be professional or not, but they make a lot of money because people walk by, I like this character. Oh, you have this one. So I mean, I've been set up at a show with other professional artists where we haven't done well, and the guy next to us was not trying to break into comics. He just figured this out, and he was raking in the money. And of course, for a professional, that's frustrating. But that's the market, and that's. But that guy's really successful, and he's not working for a company. There's been several cases where the Marvel and DC have cracked down on that. I mean, if you're not an artist, so working with IDW, there's a lot of Hasbro properties. Like, I've worked on Transformers and G.I. Joe, and I've done one Ninja Turtles cover. If it's a Hasbro thing, I'll do. That's fair game, and it's kind of understood. If you work for Marvel, Marvel understands that you're going to, do prints and do commissions and stuff with their characters. So it is a gray area. So just be aware. And as a fan, if you're looking around for, let's hope I don't cut myself while I'm talking. Away from the body. Away from the body. If you're looking to get sketches, just be sure, don't necessarily assume because the character's on the banner that they worked on that. Do look at their stuff, and it should be a good representation of how they draw. I mean, so if it's something that you like and you like that style, go ahead and get some work for them. Help support the artist trying to break in, definitely. But another thing too is it's hard because people want what they know, and I know if you've got your own book, it's hard to compete with things like Superman and Spider-Man, and everybody wants Star Wars. Everybody wants what they know, and I think most people are open and want to. Find something new and cool, but I think subconsciously that's just a little bit too much work, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that's just not great. I mean, just be honest. If you're walking around the self-published section of a comic, there's a lot of it that's just not quite there yet. And I used to be one of those guys that were not quite there yet. But also, I think I wrote this in the comments, that familiarity is the path of least resistance, especially when you've got your money and you want something cool. You already have this kind of subconscious draw towards what's familiar, and if it's something that's familiar and cool, that's going to take your attention and your money, or the person's attention and money, faster than the potentially cool, but I need to do a little bit of work to find out that it's cool, the nature of the business. So just some things. And what was in this box was G.I. Joe issue 237. Is this out yet? The new comic smell. Yeah, sometimes they'll send me comps before they're out, and I'll put pages up on eBay, and then I'll get a message from someone saying, hey, this issue isn't out yet. Usually not IDW, but a fan will tell me it's not out yet. Yeah. So, go buy this issue. If you like G.I. Joe, I guess. Anyway, tell them you want me to draw more covers, because I didn't do this cover. I haven't had a cover since like issue 225, or 229. Anyway, but there's some thoughts. Anyway, now I've got to go do some work, and see you tomorrow.